I can't wait for you to see the results of this week's makeover. My friend Jen gave me this old vintage cabinet. It was missing trim, extremely dirty, unstable, and it's just not a popular design anymore. However, it has good bones, very little wood damage, and a lot of potential. My first task was to deconstruct it and take up all the pieces that I wouldn't be using anymore. And I have to tell you, this was actually a lot of fun to take apart. So I took off the backboards. I am getting rid of both of these. I'm going to replace them with new ones. Lots of little nails that I had to pull out. I'm also going to say goodbye to these glass doors. And then take off the drawers from the bottom to work and repair on them. These will go back on when I'm done. And finally, we got to get rid of that wobbly base and replace it with something a little bit more sturdy. More little nails. And here it is. This is our starting point. I bet you have no idea what I have in mind. This is the first time that I've really deconstructed something to this extent, and like I said, it was actually pretty fun and relieved a lot of stress. Taking things apart is good therapy. Alright, I'm just going to sand it down a little bit, just scuff sanding, because I am going to use paint on this project. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I don't do the same treatment to every piece of furniture. I really let the piece of furniture speak to me and try to find a design that will accentuate the beautiful and make it something that people will want to have in their home for many years to come. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, these old hutches and cabinets are just not popular anymore. So I had to come up with a way to completely transform it. And I appreciate my friend Jen thinking of me, because this is the type of project that stretches my creativity. After I scuff sanded it, I gave it a good cleaning with my favorite degreaser, Simple Green. Welcome to anyone who is new, and welcome back to my subscribers. I really appreciate you watching and leaving me comments, and I can't wait to see what you say at the end of this video. Alright, let's stand it back up. Now it's time to clean the inside. I've got some fresh warm water with a little bit of Dawn dish soap to wipe everything down, get rid of the dust, and inspect it to see if there's any more repairs that I need to make. This thing was filthy. The water is completely dark brown. Ugh. Now I'm going to prime it. I'm using some primer that I had in my garage. I picked this up on sale, so I'm hoping that this will cover the dark wood and prevent it from staining or bleeding through. However, the next day I noticed that there is some bleeding. You can see the red from the wood coming through, so that means I'm going to need to step up my primer game and use something that is shellac based to stop that bleeding. For the cabinet doors, I'm just going to give them a quick sanding, and they were so dry that that old finish just came off super easy. Cleaned up the drawer, went in and filled the holes on the top part, because remember, I'm not putting those doors back on. Now I went and purchased some shellac, and instead of priming like I did the body of the piece, I'm just going to start with shellac on the drawer and the doors, because this will help prevent that dark wood from bleeding through. This is one of the most important pieces of furniture flipping, is making sure that you really have a good foundation for your paint to stick to. Make sure you always wear a respirator when you're using shellac, It is very strong smelling and you don't want those chemicals in your lungs. After the back of the doors had dried, I flipped them over, gave them a good cleaning. I also found a couple little places where the trim was loose, but it was still in pretty good shape, so I just went ahead and grabbed my pin nailer and secured it back to the door. Made sure everything was nice and solid and won't be falling off in the near future. Then it was time for a good coat of shellac. Notice I placed them right next to each other so I can kind of just do one continuous spray. I think I need to buy one of those little gadgets that you put on the spray cans that make it easier to spray so that you're not having to push down with your finger, because I'm finding that even though I don't like using spray, when I'm doing older furniture, I find that I often need to, so make it easier on myself. After shellacking the body of the piece and letting it dry, I went over it again with one more coat of my white primer. I don't like putting primer in my paint sprayer because it's hard to clean, so I usually just use these little lint-free rollers. You don't want to use the foam rollers because the chemicals in the primer will cause the foam to break down, and you'll end up using a lot of them and they're not very effective. Now I'm just testing this color. This is a General Finishes paint, and I've used this tan before. It's a nice neutral creamy tan, so I'm just putting a little bit on to see how I like it, and also to make sure that I don't get any bleed through. So what I'll do is I'll paint a section of the cabinet, and then I'm going to let it sit for a couple days and come back and make sure that none of that dark mahogany red is bleeding through my paint. You can see it's a little wobbly, but once I put a backboard in place, that will hold it together and that wobble will go away. A couple days later, everything is looking good. So now I'm doing some last minute touch-ups, a little bit of sanding, especially where those old doors were, to make sure that it's nice and smooth on the shelf here and that everything looks good before I go in and start spraying paint. I decided to go ahead and remove this shelf. So I grabbed my hammer and I found a couple of nails that I had to remove and then just gently beat on it till it came out. I can't even count the number of little nails that I've removed from this, and I'm always very careful to dispose of them wrapped in a paper towel in a trash bag so that they don't end up in my driveway, my tires, or fall out of the trash can when the trash company is removing the trash. So here's an example of two boards, one that I primed with shellac and one that I didn't. And here is a great example of the bleed through that I'm talking about and what that looks like. So now I'm going to give everything a good scuff sanding before spraying. What this does is this knocks down any ridges, any areas where I had put on too much of the primer, and make sure that I have a really smooth finish when my paint goes on. And you can see this one definitely needed that sanding. Now I told you I was going to add a new base to it, so I went and I picked up some boards, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure everything. Always measure both sides. You'd think they'd be the same, but sometimes vintage furniture is a little quirky. Make sure that I measure twice, write down my numbers so I get the right cuts the first time. I also had to trim the legs of the piece so that they would work with the size of boards that I found for the new base. Now I'm going to apply it. I'm going to use a combination of Tight Bond glue, and I'm going to hold it in place with some pin nails while it dries, and then I'll come back in and add a few larger nails to ensure that it's on there nice and tight. Flip it over and do the same thing with the sides, being extra careful to make sure that I get the 45-degree cuts that I made lined up as close as possible. This cabinet had these little pieces of wood that were in between the base and the side of it to close a little gap there that existed. So I just saved those pieces of wood. I'm going to put them right back in, and then I will prime and paint them with the rest of the piece. Just add a few pin nails to hold it in there. So when I decided not to put the doors back on, it left this piece of just exposed wood on the sides. So what I did is I found some trim that matches the trim on the bottom of the piece. It's just kind of a grooved piece of wood. And luckily it is the right size that I need to fit on this and just give it a nice, neat finished look when it's done. I also had to replace the small trim at the top that went all the way around, and just take a moment to admire the Arizona sky. I love the Southwest sky. I think the sky in New Mexico is the most beautiful, followed by Arizona. Please feel free to tell me in the comments if you think that I'm wrong. And if you think I'm wrong, you've probably never seen a New Mexico, Arizona sunset or sunrise. All right, so here's what it looks like with the new trim, and it just barely fits in my spray tent, but I did lay it down on my milk crates. So now we're going to go ahead and spray the same color paint, but the sprayer puts on a nice, smooth, flawless coat. The sprayer I'm using is by Wagner. It's their Flexio 5000. I picked mine up used off of Facebook Marketplace, and I love it. It is super simple and easy to use, and it gives fantastic results. While my paint is drying, I took the shelves out of the bottom part of the cabinet, and I'm going to cover them with this really cute wallpaper. The color is just perfect for that creamy tan that I'm using. What I do with shelves when I cover an inside shelf is I always put the paper on so that it overlaps in the front and the back. And then what I'll do is I will flip the piece over, make sure that I get the paper nice and tight on all edges. And then once I get it in place, I'll use my staple gun to put a few staples to hold the front and the back. This way, if over time it loosens, it won't come off. That holds it nice and tight on there. I also lined the one drawer with the same paper. Now I'm going in and just adding a little bit of wood filler where some of my nail holes were showing on this trim. This is the difference between a finished piece and a professionally finished piece, even though I'm not really a professional. Add some stoppers, put my drawers back on. I also decided to fill in the tops of these doors. The wood just looked a little unfinished to me, so I'm going to use my wood filler and then paint it. And then I'm cleaning up a few spots where my spray, or rather my paint, bubbled in these grooves. Now I'm sealing everything with a clear coat of polyacrylic in a satin finish. This will also make sure that the wallpaper that I put on those doors stays on nice and tight and doesn't peel. All right, now I'm replacing the backboard, so I'm going to cut it to size. Nail it in place. I use a combination of pin nails and then some slightly larger nails on the corners and the sides to hold everything nice and tight. I went with new hardware to give it a little bit more of a modern look, kind of a rustic farmhouse chic, if you will. Okay, now here's where we started with this rundown, beat up old vintage cabinet. And here's the finished product. Surprise! I made it into a cute little coffee bar. So I didn't show you this when we were filming, but the backboard that I used has this really cool rustic wood design, and I used that to line the sides and the back, and I think it just completely transformed this from old and beat up to something fresh and cute and clean. So let me know what you think in the comments. I'm so happy you joined me for this furniture makeover. I look forward to hearing what you think. And also, please share my videos with your friends. I'm trying to grow my channel and I appreciate your support. And I would love to be able to flip furniture full time. This has been Carmen with Painted and Planted by Carmen. Thank you so much for watching.